No, I think you're right. They are linked. Cameron, of those three problems, I would have thought that Wells would be the easiest one to fix. I mean, you know, sack her, which seems to be exactly what some of her enemies in the government intended, because there's a lot of people thinking that they believe that some of the leaks, at least, are coming from her own side. Why isn't she sacked?
Oh, well, no, and I've got to defend Anika. I mean, Anika is my local member. I've actually got the benefit of actually seeing her as a really hard-working local, much harder than much harder local worker than her predecessor in Lily. So no, look,
Wayne
I think
Swan.
she's got, no, seriously, Andrew, Wayne Swan, yes. So it wasn't.
No,
It was a low
I'm
bar.
prepared
It was
to
a low
hear
bar,
it.
Andrew. But the issue here is it was well known she was at the grand final, well known she was at Boxing Day, as the Minister for Sport. That was her portfolio. She brought her husband and children with her. I think that's a good thing that she's done. But the scandal that's really breaking tonight, Andrew, is the one in the Australian, in the front page of the Australian, which is that Sarah Hanson-Young, the great hypocrite from the Greens, her husband is a fully fledged, high-flying lobbyist. And she appears to have flown him to work in Canberra, where he works as a lobbyist for big companies, and flown him back home again. Now, if he did a single moment of lobbying for clients while the taxpayers funded and facilitated that, then that's a huge, huge scandal. And that could be breaking in today's Australia.
All right, I'll just emphasise the word you used there, if, because we do not know, we make no accusations.
Yes, if.
It's just a
Exactly
question
right.
that should
If.
be asked and answered. Yes, well,
Answered.
I'm sure
Yes.
you're wrong in one thing you just said there, Cameron, because I don't think he could have flown because, you know, contrails, global warming. I'm sure she made him ride a donkey all the way to Canberra or something like that. I don't know. Michael, Donald Trump is now really worrying the Pope, who's getting stuck into world affairs like I don't think I've seen since Pope John Paul II, St. John Paul now, did. The US president has gone back to attacking Ukraine, which I think is very foolish, attacking Ukraine, not Russia, and has savaged Europe in its new security strategy and in a new interview saying Europe was committing civilization erasure through mass immigration and was weak in defending Ukraine. Here he is.
They're not doing a good job. Europe is not doing a good job in many ways. They're not doing a good job.
I want to ask
They
you
talk
about
too
that.
much, and they're not producing. We're talking about Ukraine. They talk, but they don't produce. Europe, they want to be politically correct, and it makes them weak. That's what makes them weak.
I think, unfortunately, some of parts of it that I have seen make a huge change in what was for many, many years a true alliance between Europe and the United States. The remarks that are made about Europe, also in interviews recently, I think are trying to break apart what I think needs to be a very important alliance today and in the future.
Michael Costa, whose side are you on there?
Oh, not on the Pope's side, that's for sure. I mean, he ought to keep to what he's supposed to be good at. I noted that we had the Nicene, the anniversary of the Nicene Creed, and he's trying to bring the church together, all the different sections of it. He hasn't done too much progress on that. Look, the problem with Trump is it's like everything else. You know, he does a lot of good things, he does a lot of stupid things. And his position on Ukraine is absolutely foolish. You know, he thinks it's a case of you're either for peace or you're a neocon. Well, there is a sort of middle ground, and that's about the dangers of appeasement. And that's what we're seeing here. And let's not forget, Andrew, I mean, the US, the UK, Russia guaranteed in 1994, when Ukraine handed over its nuclear weapons, its sovereignty on the existing borders. Now, the US can't walk away from that. They signed an agreement on it. So he's completely wrong on this. The dangers of appeasement are what we ought to be focusing on. And just on another thing, this America First stuff is absolute nonsense. He's surviving on a massive deficit there, a budget deficit and debt that the world has never seen. And the only reason they get away with it is because they've got the reserve currency. And the only reason they've got the reserve currency is because they provide a security umbrella for the Western world. Now, if you want to walk away from that, the first country that'll suffer will be the US. He's just really foolish on this issue.
Well, it sounded to me actually like you were on neither gentleman's side. Cameron Milner, the Pope's intervention there, were you cheering it or did you think stay in your lane?
No, not at all. I support the Pope. I mean, I think the Pope trumps any world leader when it comes to talking about peace on earth and goodwill to all people, Andrew. I mean, that's the reality. The church should be speaking for these sorts of things. The church should be standing up for people in the Ukraine who are suffering from awful attacks where their energy supplies are being attacked and they're going to freeze across winter. No, the Pope has a role to play. And I think ultimately the Pope trumps any other world leader when it comes to matters like this. And he should be speaking up on behalf of the church and his role as the Pope.
Well, I must say, I thought it was refreshing to hear a Pope not waffling on about global warming and, like John Paul II was a hero, actually talk about practical matters involving people's lives on the line, like in, well, again, Russia being a focus of it. Michael Costa, Cameron Milner, thank you very much to you both.